Welcome to Living Beyond the Invisible, A Walk with Heather. I'm your host, Heather Perrin. This is a place for honest conversations about living with invisible disabilities, navigating life's unexpected challenges, and growing in faith through it all. Whether you're living with an invisible disability, walking alongside someone who is, or simply looking for hope and encouragement, I'm so glad you're here. Let's walk beyond the invisible together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Living Beyond the Invisible, A Walk with Heather. I am your host, Heather, and today we have a very special guest. She is the author of this gorgeous book, Seek First the Kingdom of God. And today we have Carol Sackey with us. Hi,
Thank
Carol.
you. Hi, thank you so much, Heather. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. I feel
Yes.
honored and blessed to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to have you on. As I was telling you before we started recording, I've already started reading your book. So far, I am very impressed with it.
Thank you.
It is very heartwarming. I
Thank
don't know if that's really the word I want, but it is very impactful.
thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome. So, if you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what made you want to write this book.
Okay, thank you. So once again, Heather, I appreciate your time and the opportunity
Yes.
to be here. So my name is Carol Sackey. As you said, I am a family nurse practitioner. I'm a mom, wife, daughter, sister, all of the above. Somebody seeking to walk in the way of the Lord, a Christian, just like all of you. And we were inspired to write this book about 5 years ago. The journey started. So I wrote the book with my teenage daughter Isabel. So about what 5 years, almost 6 years ago, when she was going to be a teenager, I felt led by God to write something down, little pearls along the journey for the road ahead. And this is what came out of it. So the title, Seek First the Kingdom of God, because that is the foundation for everything. And also,
Yes.
it's for your journey. So the journey is individualized for everybody. So your journey is different from mine. Her journey will be different as well. And so
Yes.
we just felt led by God to write this. Initially, we thought it would be something for teenagers. But as the book has come out, many people from different walks of life, faith, have all been blessed. So now I see the book is for everybody. So I hope it's a tool, a resource for the journey ahead for everyone.
Yes. So I, of course, ordered the book as I already showed it, but
Yes.
I started reading it. I am on day three. Um,
Mhm.
it is very inspiring. I love that you talk about parts of your life in here, like your life in as in the 80s as a child, as a teen.
Yes.
Those are things that are really great to read. It gives perspective. It's not just another devotional that's like, you need to do this, you need to
Yes.
do that. It
Yes.
actually gives and shows like your heart. Um, and one of the questions, and I hope it's okay that I read this, it's not giving anything away, I promise. But
No,
one of
it's
the
fair.
questions you say to ask yourself in one of the reflections, how can I seek God in my daily life? And I'm going to be honest with you, when I read that, it stopped me in my tracks because
Mm.
as a Christian,
Mhm.
that's just something that we really don't think about. I
Yeah,
mean, most Christians I know, that's not something we think about on a daily basis.
right.
And how do how do you seek God? How do you um, do that on a daily basis? And I just, it made me stop and think. And
Yes.
I was like, oh. Well, how can I seek God on a daily basis? I mean, I do my daily Bible study and I
Mhm.
pray, but am I going through the motions or am I really seeking God? So I really
Right.
liked there's more that I liked about the book, but that was one thing that
Thank you.
really did stop me in my track. So
Thank you.
my question would then be, how do you seek God on a daily basis? If that is too much, please don't answer, but
Oh
um
no, this is such a great question. So I seek God by being very intentional. So I wake up, I usually wake up a little bit earlier than the kids. Some days I'm able to get in a little bit of exercise. Some days not so much. I like the bed more than the the treadmill. But in any case, so I wake up and the first thing that I've programmed my mind is to get on my knees. So I wake up and I pray. And it doesn't have to be anything long, just, just a couple of minutes. And then if we're going to the gym, I don't do the devotional at the time. But at the gym, I usually listen to somebody. So it could be anything. I love Miles Monroe. I love Joyce Meyer. I love Priscilla Shire. So many people that I listen to on a daily level. And so as I listen and, ponder on what they talk about, I plan out my day. So usually I would be seeing patients. So I come to the table with just the thought of how can I help Heather today? Have I done the best for Heather today? And so I try to be that light, try to lessen the burden for the next person. So, I always say patients come in needing something, but that is not the whole patient. So you just know a little bit about them. Maybe I have a headache today. Maybe I have a UTI today. So did I do my best as I would want for that patient? And I think when you show love, not based on anything else, but being in that position to offer that kindness, that is being the hands and feet of Jesus. So my intentions are very specific. I go in with a purpose driven plan, hopefully, and I'm able to execute it usually, so far as the patient is satisfied, we've been able to come to an agreement, make sure that they understand what their next step is, what their role is. And then as a mom, I try as much as possible because now I have two teenagers. So, they can be trying sometimes. So the words that you
yes.
speak to them, to be kind, to make sure that words that are able to affirm them and not to bring them down. And
Mm.
so in every aspect of our lives, we have the gardener who comes home sometimes. How are you doing? Offer water because it's over 100 degrees over here. So,
Mm.
is he able to get his job done? Give him some Gatorade. Just say hello to somebody. So, in every situation, I just try to make sure that I left a piece of, kindness, a piece of love that the next person can hopefully take along with their journey. So, just to be
Oh,
a bright
I have goosebumps.
light. Oh,
I
I'm
really do. No, that is actually really inspiring and um just for lack of better words, powerful.
thank
Um
you.
I it's made me think. So I read those words. I got the book Sunday, I believe. And so I started reading it as soon as I could. And I will say that question, like I said, it did stop me in my tracks and it made me really think, how can I seek God in my daily life? And I have to be honest with having a chronic illness, with dealing with chronic pain every day. There are some days that I'm really grumpy
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not the best version of myself. And
Yes.
so my biggest thought was, how can I seek God, not just every day, but especially on the days where I'm struggling? When
Right.
I don't want to get out of bed, when I don't want to go to yet a meeting. And I love talking to people. I love doing this podcast. I love being on podcasts.
Right.
But when your body is in so much pain,
Right.
there are days that even the things you enjoy, you don't want to do at all. And
Mm-hmm.
so, again, I know I feel like I keep repeating myself, but
No, you're perfect.
that question made me really stop and think, how can I do better?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
can I seek God in my daily life? And one thing, and it might sound silly to some when they're listening to it. It might sound silly to you, but I started opening up this podcast to guests and started trying to share my story on other podcasts, or I'm also looking for public speaking opportunities,
Right.
things of that nature, because I feel God leading me to do that. I
Right.
feel Him telling me, this is what you are supposed to be doing. The
Mhm.
bakery, because I have my a small home bakery.
Mhm.
I feel like he still wants me to do the bakery, and I donate
Right.
10% of all of my profits to our church for the bakery. But I feel like he's leading me to do this. So,
He's calling you to do more. Yes.
yes. So,
Yes.
all of that to say, the
Mhm.
one thing that even on my bad days that I feel like I can do to seek him
Mhm.
is to obey him,
Right.
to continue telling my story, to continue finding those opportunities to help others and let them tell their stories.
Right.
Because we all have stories to
Yes.
tell.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I know that was a lot, but um, I would suggest if anybody reads this book, or even if they are not, don't have it now, I would definitely suggest asking yourself how you can seek God daily.
Right. Right. Right.
So tell me a little bit about like your journey. I know you talked about the book and where it came from, but tell me a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
And because I think that that's important too, not just the
Yes.
book, but
Yeah.
who is Carol?
Yes. So who is Carol? I am I am one of five girls and a brother. We are six in total. I lost my dad actually it would be 4 years just this today. And
Oh,
so
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yes, no, I believe as the Bible says that he is resting. He finished the purpose for which he was here. He was a good dad. He was old school. He was a lawyer, and he instilled in us hard work. He also instilled in us the Christian life. And the Christian life is not for the faint-hearted, but he had his own journey, his ups and downs, but he did the best he could. And so I
Mhm.
see that, and I'm thankful to God for that. But I am a family nurse practitioner. I love, love, love this calling. I believe it's a calling. So I went to school initially to do something else and felt led to do something where I help people. So I enjoy being a family nurse practitioner. This writing journey has also been very exciting for us because, like you said, everybody's got a story. We get to learn. And I love the fact that the devotional is also about our life. So this is something that is very relatable.
Mhm.
I enjoy being a mom. I have two kiddos. So I have Isabel, who is the first, and then Joseph, our miracle son, and he's actually sitting right next to me. And so as I was talking to a patient yesterday, she talked about, after we had discussed her medical needs, she talked about her inability to do some of the tests because she didn't have childcare. So then she went on to explain that she had a 3-pound baby and how the disabilities, the invisible disabilities that the child has and some that are visible. So I think we can all relate to people if we are able to listen, offer more grace. So it's been a journey. I am going to be 47 next month. And I have not always been like this, purpose driven, have a plan and execute it. I'm a work in progress. So, I try to wake up with a good attitude, not always all the time, and just seeking to do that which I feel led, by God. And so we go to church. I'm involved in Bible study. I do a glow. I'm involved in some other women things that I enjoy doing, and just have a community of Christian women that I lean on for wisdom and direction. And I try to find that which I gives me purpose. So at this stage of my life, unfortunately, if it's not bringing much, good, for lack of a better word, I don't I don't participate in it. I'm very encouraged to do the best for my mental health, the mental health of the person I'm involved in, for my family, my children, and the community. So uh, I'm in a process of seeking God, seeking to see what is beneficial for society. We just got the book published in Ghana, West Africa today, actually. So looking for visibility for that. So my goal at this stage of my life is just doing that which is of God. And so I hope I continue. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm learning. And there have been lots of ups and downs with the journey. With the journey comes a lot of trials. So I have had to lean deeper, to seek Him more, to get more direction from spiritual leaders. And it's just been exciting. Sometimes lonesome as you walk this fine line, but through it all, understanding that God is faithful, He is there. And I have a wonderful husband. He's very, very supportive. He's usually our first editor, so he helps out with the book, and it becomes a little bit of a family thing. But so, I feel very, very blessed. I feel blessed. I came to the United States at a young age and have been here over 30 years. And I just feel like this is where the Lord has called me. So I see everything in His time, in His purpose, and for His glory. And so that's how I have tried to lead my life the last few years or so. Yes.
That is amazing. That
Thank
is
you.
just I keep getting cold chills listening to you talk. I can, in such a good way, because I can
Yes.
tell that your heart is truly there and you truly want to seek God and help others. And
Thank you.
honestly,
Amen. Yeah,
in the world we live in right now, that is very refreshing.
it is.
Um,
Yeah, thank you.
it is, you don't see that a whole lot. You don't talk to a
Mhm.
lot of people who truly want to help others, who truly
Right,
want to seek God.
right.
And so that is one thing that when we talked last week in our initial chat, I felt this connection with you that
Oh, thank you.
we would do well
Thank
in a
you.
podcast together because you seem like the type of person that wants to be honest. You don't want the fake stuff.
No, I
You
don't.
know, that is very much how I am. I don't like fakeness. I don't like those who, um, you know, pretend to be one way or are another. Um,
Right, right.
so I truly applaud you for that.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
that is not something you see, like I said, a lot of.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so I don't have a lot of other questions for you, but what is next for Carol? Is there another book in the works, or is there something that you are working on that you can tell me
Yes.
about?
And thank you for the compliments. Yes, I think
Oh,
you
you're
come
welcome.
to an age, in your growth with Christianity that you have to decide who is Heather, who is Carol, whom do you want to
Yes.
be? And
Hmm.
so, God willing, I'm at that age, and I just want to do that which I know is the right thing, and not, the fake and other stuff. We have outgrown that aspect of our lives. In any case, we have another book that we are working on currently. It's called Align with God. So we
Okay.
talk about the things in life that are just aligned. We know every day everything is aligned, but sometimes you can experience something and you're like, wow, this only had to be the will of God. So coming to California, really not my biggest choice. We live in California and we were moving from Boston at the time. But having come here, we have been blessed so immensely by God. And I just feel so blessed, so grateful for all that He's done. Having Joseph, having Isabel, just everything just seems like, in His time, like the Bible says, He makes all things
Mhm.
beautiful. And He's really
Yes.
given us beauty. And so I have a sense of gratitude. So I want to write about that, probably about 20 stories about our life and where we can see that it was truly the hand of God at work and just encourage people. I think there's a lot of depression, anxiety, chronic issues, and I think something to encourage people that this is not it. That God is good, God is faithful, and in His time, He makes all things beautiful. So to press on, because you do have to endure, and it's not easy enduring sometimes. So align. Yes, Align with God will be a book of encouragement for hopefully the readers. Right now, I'm doing a lot of podcasts, doing a lot of just reaching out and sharing the story. We have the book in a few bookstores, Christian bookstores. So I talk about it. I'm off usually on Wednesdays. So I spend a lot of my time talking about the book, reaching the community, just trying to get the word out there because I have to do it by myself. I'm the, I'm the
Yes.
marketing. So I
Yeah.
have to reach
Yes.
out and get the word out. And it's not easy because, the Christian community doesn't necessarily know me. So you have to hopefully find that, destiny helper and
Right.
keep reaching out.
Yes. Did
Yes.
you self-publish the book or did you go through an
Yes,
actual? Okay.
yes. So we
Okay.
self-published it on Amazon, but the
Yes.
editor actually co-wrote with the great CC Wanyan. So she
Yes.
Susan Gosling, yeah, she is
Yes.
actually from
Okay.
Bakersfield, and she's also an exciting thing, that happened for us. So after writing the book for many years, it got to a point where we needed an actual editor. So I usually go on Facebook and find out, is there anybody who knows somebody who knows somebody? And so I had people respond from all across the United States.
Okay.
And come to find out, she lives in our neck of the woods. I mean, how is that not a miracle?
That
So,
is amazing.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I met up with her. We had lunch, and at the time she was in the middle of something, and she couldn't do it then, but she ended up doing it. She gave me just a discounted price on that. She was just a blessing, and she follows our journey. And later on throughout the year, I think last year, CC Wanyans was here at the county fair. So we got to
Okay.
see her. So I mean, it was
Oh,
just
wow.
beautiful. Yeah. We
That
loved
is
every
amazing.
song. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
That
So,
is amazing. I only asked about self-publishing, uh,
yes,
not to criticize at all. I am a self-publisher, so
yes,
anybody watching this, I am not at all criticizing her.
yes,
I think it's amazing that you self-published it, to be
yes.
honest.
Thank you.
So for anyone that is listening and is thinking about self-publishing a book,
Mhm.
I of course have my own thoughts on that, but do you have any words of advice for them?
I would say go for it. This is our second book that we have self-published. Our first book was a fun book. Uh, this was just a book about my son, an unexpected appearance. So just
Fun.
about the family unit and how COVID appeared, and how everything had to switch from virtual. I mean from in person to virtual,
Yeah.
and so we discussed that and how it affected the family. But it has been a blessing for us. So when I first started this journey, I had no idea what self-publishing was. So I would go online, just read a lot, learn a lot from YouTube. ask a lot of questions, and people would answer, people would, give you this direction. And so we went ahead, my husband and I did the first one, and then we uploaded the second one. And yeah, I think the hardest part is the marketing. They have different groups online where you can learn from. However, there are a lot of scammers. So you have to be
Yes.
very cautious with that. I haven't, thank God, been scammed yet, so thank God. But, I try to do most of the learning to figure out how to go about it. I don't necessarily say just do it for me and I'll pay you, because you don't know whom you're talking to on the other side. But I do a lot of research myself and then proceed, with the advice that I've been given. So it's been a
Yes.
blessing. I enjoy it. Yes.
That is great advice.
Yes.
Also from someone who is self-published, the watch out for scammers is
Yes.
a big thing,
Yes.
especially when you're looking for someone that maybe you want need cover art, or
Yes.
someone that you want to edit it. You
Exactly.
have to be very careful because there are so
Mhm.
many people out there that are like, oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. Then they take your money. And thank God I've
And
never
you
been
can't find.
scammed either.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um, but they are out there. So that was great advice. Also, anyone, and I'm just going to throw this out there since I know it's not really what we were talking about, but it is on self-publishing.
Yes.
If anyone ever reaches out to you and is like, hey, I will publish your book for $500, do
Exactly.
not do not do it.
Yes.
Because nine times out of
Yes.
10, that is a scam, or
Yes.
they will publish it, but they will do nothing else for you, and you could have done it
Exactly.
yourself
Exactly.
and saved hundreds of dollars.
Yes, 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 yeah. Yeah,
So
so there are a lot of vanity publishers, and I think when you first start it's exciting, and so you
mhm,
don't realize that, you need this warning. And so when I first started, somebody was reaching out, do you want to pay 5,000 for this and you can be on the bestseller and all of that? And I'm like, I actually have a job. This is just something I enjoy doing. Let me do more
yes.
research. But they get very hesitant and they just get a little bit pushy. So I say,
Mhm.
let me take my time and get back to you. And they'll keep calling, especially when you initially publish. They will
Uh-huh.
call for months and months, but then they give up because they realize that this is not going anywhere. So you have to do the homework. You
Oh,
have to.
yes. And I've noticed it's the same thing with podcasting.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
You
okay.
get, I don't know about you, but I have received a ton of messages from different people, and they're like, hey, I can help you find guests, or I
Oh,
can help
okay.
you be guest on different podcasts, and it's only $100 a month. And I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
I will find my own guest.
Yes,
I
yes,
will find my own guest
yes,
opportunities.
yes, yeah.
Because I'm sure some of those are legitimate, but
Hmm.
there's
It's
so
hard
many
to
out there
decipher. Yes,
that,
yes.
and I don't know about you, but I don't just have $100 a month laying around
No, not
uh,
yet.
on the off chance that I might get on a podcast or I might
Yes,
get a guest. So,
yes.
is there anything else you would like to tell us before we wrap up today?
Oh, I just want to say thank you, Heather, for the opportunity to
Yes.
talk about the book. I feel blessed. I'm very grateful. God bless you. Uh, the book can be found on Amazon, Lulu, Barnes and Noble, and so buy it, review it, share it. We feel blessed by it. We hope it can be a blessing for you and the people who read it. So I believe that God will bring the right people He wants to read the book. So I do the little I can and leave it in His hands, and then it just keeps multiplying. So thank you. I'm very
You're
grateful.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And I will, I got my copy on Amazon.
Yes.
I will link that in the show notes so that people can
Thank you.
easily click on it and find you.
Thank
Um, and I want to just say thank you very much for being here. I
you.
truly, and I am not just saying this, I truly found your story and your heart to be inspiring.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I am so grateful to have met you.
Oh,
I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm excited to finish reading your book.
Thank
And when Align with God comes out, you're going to have to come back on so we can talk.
Yes, of course.
And I will read that one too. So, thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate it. And everyone else, I will see you next week with another episode.
Okay. Thank you so much, Heather. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on social media, and check out my Patreon for exclusive content. All links from today's episode will be linked in the show notes. Until next time, keep living beyond the invisible.